This is Head Bustin' Boxing, and we are back in the house. And I told you this could happen, but I did not think it was going to happen so soon. According to the Boxing Scene article, Pulev and his team are trying to throw a fly in the ointment when it comes down to the AJ Ruiz rematch. And let's just go ahead and jump on into the article. According to the Boxing Scene. All right, Pulev filed petition with IBF to order mandatory with Andy Ruiz. Bulgarian IBF #1 rated heavyweight contender KUBRAT, the Cobra Pulev, and his team have officially petitioned the IBF requesting they order their world champion Andy Ruiz to postpone his rematch with former champion Anthony Joshua and make an immediate mandatory defense against Pulev. Team Pulev says their fighter has earned the right to an immediate title fight by winning two IBF eliminators October 27th in 2018 when he defeated IBF #3 rated Huey Fury, and May 7, 2016 when he defeated former European champion and world title challenger Derek Chisora. It's hard to believe these guys, Chisora and Fury, was rated that high, but okay. And by staying active against top competition, for example, on March 23rd of this year, he knocked out WBA #14 rated Bogan Dinu on ESPN. That was the fight where he got in all the trouble when he kissed Jennifer Sushi. But anyway, Pulev had originally been scheduled to face then champion Anthony Joshua on October 28th of 2017 in Cardiff, Wales, but was forced to withdraw due to injury. Joshua went on to defeat substitute opponent Carlos Takam, and then made two more defenses, then lose to Ruiz by TKO in the 7th in June of this year without facing Pulev. And now, even though long-time IBF mandatory challenger Pulev has re-earned his spot as the IBF mandatory by beating Fury, Joshua promoter Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing has made clear he and Joshua intend to exercise their contractual right to an immediate rematch against Ruiz. "We've been waiting patiently. The time is now," said Bob Arum, founder and CEO of Top Rank, which co-promotes Pulev along with Epic Sports. And Ruiz has an obligation to fight the #1 mandatory IBF contender, KUBRAT Pulev. Eddie Hearn is running this heavyweight title like it's his own private enterprise, said Ivalo Gazev of Epic Sports. The bottom line is Pulev originally fought an IBF eliminator over 3 years ago and was next in line with the IBF mandatory status. The IBF is an organization that has set a precedent for following their written rules, and according to Rule 5A1, Ruiz's rematch clause against Joshua does not affect his obligation to defend his title against the IBF leading available contender. Mandatory obligations supersede a promoter's promotional rights. The IBF should not set aside their rules over the contractual details of a past fight. Ruiz himself is an indirect. Hold on for a second, excuse me. Ruiz's rematch clause against Joshua did not affect his obligation to defend his title against the IBF leading available contender. Mandatory obligations supersede the promoter's promotional rights. The IBF should not set aside their rules over the contractual details of the past fight. My bad. I apologize for having to read that over, but the page I clicked on something by accident. But anyway, it says Ruiz himself is an indirect beneficiary of the IBF respected reputation for strictly adhering to its rules. When Tyson Fury defeated Vladimir Klitschko to win the IBF title, the Klitschko camp exercises contractual right to an immediate rematch with Fury. When Fury then refused to fight the IBF mandatory, opting for the more lucrative rematch with Klitschko, the IBF correctly vacated the title and ordered the two leading available contenders, Glasgow and Charles Martin, to fight for the vacant IBF title. Martin defeated Glaskov to become the IBF champion. In Martin's first defense of the IBF title, he lost to Joshua, which in fact was Joshua's first bout for a major heavyweight title. Ruiz, who has now acquired the IBF title by defeating Joshua, is therefore the indirect beneficiary of the IBF policy of strictly complying with its rules. And Ruiz should therefore also be held to the IBF rules in order to fight the IBF #1 available contender Pulev in his next bout. Then after that, it gives other examples of this taking place when Golovkin got stripped. And at the end it says, I was ready to face Anthony Joshua in November. Now I'm eager to challenge Andy Ruiz, said Pulev. I will fight Ruiz anywhere in the world. Let's make it happen. So basically, according to this article, they're trying to stop the AJ fight, the AJ Ruiz fight from happening. And Pulev is trying to exercise his right to face Ruiz, like now. And they're saying, look, man, you've had months to make this fight, happen, get it inked, and it ain't happened yet. And to be honest with you, this whole Dillian White thing isn't exactly going to make that easier, because if Andy Ruiz was even remotely thinking about going to the UK, he would have to be a fool to do it now. They're going to fight the whole UK thing. So if I'm Matchroom Boxing, Eddie Hearn, DAZN, I would almost have to bend to Andy Ruiz's request to come back to America and make the fight, because now you have somebody else stepping in who's trying to keep the fight from happening. And see what's going to wind up happening. And I've said this before, I really believe Andy Ruiz is going to wind up getting stripped of one of those, if not more than one of those titles. And I thought the Pulev suspension might have put that on hold. And maybe it would have happened, maybe him looking to fight Deontay Wilder after the AJ fight. Maybe it would have came into play then. But they're trying to do it now. Now, to my understanding, and maybe I'm going to have to research it, but to my understanding, Pulev isn't even available to fight yet. But according to this article, maybe that's not true. Maybe they already lifted the suspension. I don't know. I haven't heard anything, seen anything, heard anybody even talking about Pulev being reinstated yet. But they are pushing for the fight. And it seems like this year, before the year ends. So we'll see. But to me, that's very interesting. Could this keep the AJ Ruiz fight from happening? Because they're not saying, hey, if he go forward to fight AJ, strip him. They're saying, nah, man, we want to fight him now. Forget a strip, we want to fight him. So we'll see how that play out. And that's pretty much all I got. I just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention. This is Head Bustin' Boxing Fight Doctor. Hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Is it possible that Pulev and Bob Arum could actually stop the AJ fight from happening with Ruiz and take his place? Or is this just another thing for Eddie Hearn to have to worry about? But anyway, let me know what you think. And by the way, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. This is Head Bustin' Boxing Fight Doctor. I am out.